Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, viewers around the world. We are yet at another amazing program, The Boardroom with Pastor Shiran and Dimuthu. If you have been part of The Boardroom, you already know that there is so much of insight. There is so much of wisdom that is being shared. What do we really do at a boardroom usually? So I have Rebecca with me to talk about something that we do at the boardroom.
Thank you so much, Dwayne, and it's an absolute pleasure and an honor to be here. But just before we get to that, I want our viewers, both here, because we have a fantastic audience here as well. You might have heard the very loud applause, and that is from our audience present here. And of course, our viewers joining online as well. I want you to take a moment to think about the integral decisions, the life-altering decisions that you have made. And I'm sure that those decisions, the intimate ones, the ones that mattered most to you, were made in the confines of a private room, a private relationship with someone that is closest to you. Every decision that you have made thus far, to reiterate, the very important ones have been made in the most private of places. And that is precisely what your boardroom also in your business represents. And so I want to encourage and rather remind our audience that the title that this program has been given is not haphazardly. The boardroom is where life-altering decisions pertaining to your business, pertaining to your life are made. And to answer your question, Dwayne, the boardroom, what I feel is exactly that, what I just said. And I cannot wait to make life-altering decisions because of my presence here in this intimate setting of the boardroom. And I can't help but feel thankful. And I think our audience should also feel thankful for being invited into such an intimate setting where so much of knowledge they will be able to take back.
Because our prophet doesn't do anything in vain.
That's
he
right.
sees things before it happens. He's the prophet, the greatest prophet I know.
Certainly.
And so, like always, Pastor Shiran has brought an amazing panel today. And let us now go to the panel to really understand who these amazing people behind the table are. So, Rebecca, over to you to introduce the first panelist.
Now, Dwayne, I'm sure when you go to a wedding, or a party for that matter, and you have had your fill of parties and weddings.
For sure.
One person, aside from the bride and groom, that you absolutely need is your source of fantastic music.
That's right.
Right? So the person that I'm just about to introduce is and has been, has been, I'm not quite sure if he is presently, but he has been one of the best DJs that I've come across, and he's a tech geek as well. But as for his presence in the marketplace, I will allow it to him to introduce himself. So please, without further ado, please put your hands together and help me welcome Pastor Hisham Saleh.
Thank you. I'd like to first thank Pastor Shiran for giving me the opportunity and my wife to be here today. I also want to thank our spiritual parents, Prophet Jerome and Pastor Meneli, for their mentorship over the last 10 years for the product we are today. So hi everyone, my name is Hisham. I work for a company called Orel IT. It's part of the Orange Group, which is a 100-year-old company in Sri Lanka. My role is about expanding our services across the globe. So we primarily service a B2B market in 4 verticals. The verticals that I run is the AI practice, the cyber defense practice, managed services, and building global data centers. So my role is to basically, in each of the different markets, expand the service and take the Sri Lankan flag, the technology to the world.
Thank you, Sham. So now, yes, he deserves a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. So now, let's go to a lady who has been beside this amazing DJ, now tech geek, as Rebecca said.
His words,
Well,
not mine.
All right. So, this amazing lady is a personal friend to me. She is, I think, a very, it's hospitable is the right word to explain her. She is a friend to many. She is a very warm person. This is none other than Minoli Saleh. So I'll give it over to Minoli to speak a few words about what she has done in the marketplace and what she's doing right now.
Thank you, Joanne. Welcome once again and good evening. So I run a senior concierge service. It's called Longevity. It's assisted living. It's for seniors who live alone in Sri Lanka, where their children live overseas. We take care of their medical and lifestyle needs. Dr. Niroshi Handanhetty takes care of the medical side, and I head the lifestyle side. So to all our global audience, if you need a solution when it comes to your parents who are living alone in Sri Lanka, if you have parents living alone in Sri Lanka, Longevity is your solution. We make sure that we counteract loneliness, which is a major issue today. In the worldly system, loneliness leads to depression, to dementia. So we make sure that parents are always occupied and we cater to their interests and where they enjoy life, whilst their children may not physically be here, we take that role of coordinating things for seniors. So that's Longevity Assisted Living in how well that I could explain it to you.
Thank you, Minoli. Right. So, we have another amazing lady on set today. Another panelist. Well, if we talk about drama in the church, we can think about this lady. I'm not referring to that kind of drama. I'm referring to the real one that is played with roles. And basically, if you want to ride anywhere in Sri Lanka, this is the person to speak to. So I'm not going to reveal the name. Let her speak.
Thank you, Duane, for that very interesting introduction. I thank Jesus for this opportunity. My spiritual parents, it's because of them that I am here today. Also Pastor Shiran and Dimuthu for inviting me to this esteemed panel. So I am Kaushal Gunaratna, currently the country head of Uber, and hence why, if any of you all want a ride, Duane said to speak to me. Prior to Uber, I have 10 years of experience in the apparel sector, 10 plus years, where I've been part of finance, strategic planning, business development, and today part of a tech giant, a global Fortune 500 company. And I'm living a prophesied life, mother to a vivid cricketer, very active boy who keeps me up 24/7 beyond my corporate career. And I'm very grateful and thankful to be here, and I'm excited about this panel today.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kaushi, for being here. By the way, just letting you know again, that introduction was solely put together by Duane. I had no contribution to it. But next up, the introduction, the wealth of experience rather, behind the person next up on our panel was a little too long for me to wrap my head around. But the summarized version that I was able to absorb was that he is a specialist in the finance field. But as for the rest of it, let me allow him to introduce himself. Please put your hands together and welcome Sherman Gunathilaka.
Thank you, Rebecca. Quick introduction of me is I was an investment banker from JP Morgan. So I was working for Singapore and Hong Kong. I came to Sri Lanka because I am very patriotic to be in Sri Lanka. I was involved with JP Morgan, quite a lot of privatizations done in the country. But in the meantime, I got a very different invitation from the government of Sri Lanka to work in the Ministry of Finance. So I took that adventurous journey. So I worked for Ministry of Finance, and I was also the advisory panel of the central bank. Then I moved back to corporate sector. I was heading few corporates as a chief financial officer. I have my own consultancy company now, which is SG Capital, facilitating foreign direct investments to the country. Thank you.
Thank you, Shuman. So, if you have been part of this amazing program, you know that there have been amazing panelists. We don't have only amazing panelists, we have even businessmen, good leaders sitting right behind them, amused by the wisdom that is shared. We have such a person who has been part of 2 programs of the boardroom. And I want to ask him, Gamika, what do you think of this program? What do you think of the boardroom? What kind of impact does it give to our listeners, to our viewers, and even you who is sitting here?
Duane, that's a brilliant question. And I think it's important to understand the purpose of the boardroom, to understand its impact. The boardroom is introduced by the vision and the direction of our man of God, our prophet. And it's led under the instruction of our man of God. It's led by Pastor Shiran Peiris, a proven business person that has shown real results, that we all can be proud of. And when you understand what the boardroom brings to the table, the boardroom is basically decoding in wisdom nuggets from the corporate field, from the marketplace. And because Prophet had said revival happens and starts from the marketplace, we have the ability to understand all these decoded secrets. And when we remember who our panelists are today, there's no doubt that there's mountains of wisdom that are flowing through the boardroom and is coming to you. And we as a church are tremendously blessed because of all that we are learning. And for the question you asked me about myself, even if we have been in business for so long, even if we carry, foreign degrees and MBAs, the wisdom that comes from this boardroom is second to none. And that is why it's important to be a part of the boardroom.
So you are also a leader in the business cells. You are part of the core team. And what kind of impact do you think it is to the people in the business cells, the business leaders that are under you?
Well, another brilliant question. So look, what we have seen, Duane, is the amount of testimonies that the business people of our church, the community that have been a part of these business cells, just the testimonies, just how God is working through their businesses, just how new millionaires are raised, just how people's lives change. This is not something that we are telling you just for the sake of, introducing the business cells. It is real results, and generations are changing because they're a part of the business cells. So I am glad, I am thankful to the Lord that I have the opportunity to be a business cell leader, but I am more thankful for the lives, the generations, and just how many Christian businesses or business people are raised in the marketplace for the glory of God.
All glory to God. It's amazing that we are under a visionary prophet. A prophet who has a vision, a prophet who sees it before it happens. So we have another guest in studio who wants to say something about the boardroom.
Right, so I personally feel that it is commendable. Rather, my observation has been that even a leader needs mentorship. Even a leader needs guidance. And I'm just about to speak to a leader in one of the most leading conglomerates in Sri Lanka, who I personally want to know what her thoughts, what her take back has been from the boardroom thus far. So welcome, Dilini. Do share your thoughts about your take back to all this while.
Thank you, Rebecca, for this opportunity. And I want to thank Prophet Jerome Fernando and Pastor Melanie, and also Pastor Shiran and Dimuthu, because which is a need at this hour, because Boardroom has really been an impactful sessions that we have been having right along, and it has given us thoughts to ponder and take back things that we can really execute, right? So it has been very practical, and the experiences that the panelists share is amazing. So it has been wonderful sessions that we have been having so far.
Amazing. Thank you, Delini, for your thoughts. Now, not only, I'm sure you now understand that it is not only our panelists rather, who are leaders. It is, in fact, even the audience who are front runners in the marketplace. So, Delini, once again, I want to throw another question at you, which is that you are here almost week after week. You, a leader in the corporate, my interpretation would be that you have already done well for yourself, but you're still here week after week. So, and there are so many who are watching online. I want you to perhaps share with them as to why you find yourself. Now, you did answer this question to a certain extent, but perhaps you can encourage someone who's not too invested in this program as to why they should be invested.
Of course. What I would like to say is improvements happen in every life, right? So there is not a place, not anybody can claim that I've come there. And in these particular sessions, the nuggets that you carry for business is great. And not everywhere that you get that exposure, because this is firsthand. And what I experience from here is that, we spoke about vision, we spoke about stagnation, we spoke how to take companies from stagnation and to watch out for those, right? So in the several sessions that we had, we learned quite a lot, and the spiritual aspects of it, the fear of the Lord, right? To be able to understand where and to lead the company in the way that it needs to be led. So has been such an insightful experience, and I would encourage everyone who can join this session, right? I'm sure you will learn a lot, and you will experience so much more for your life.
Great, thank you so much, Delini. And today, of course, reminding our audience that today the topic at hand is going to be about stewardship. But before we get to that, it's once again over to Dwayne to speak to yet another member from the audience. Pardon me, ladies and gentlemen, we are we will move on to another segment. Do keep watching your screens.
2022 නොවැම්බර් මාසේ මිෂන් සමුළුව පැවැත්වෙද්දී මේ මහත්මයා ඇවිල්ලා හිටියා මිරකල් ඩෝම් එකට. මේ වෙනකොට ඔහු බොහොම බරපතල තත්ත්වයන් කීපයකට මුහුණ දීලා සිටියේ.
මම හරියටම ටැබ්ලට්ස් 10ක් බිව්වා මගේ තිබුණ රෝග වලට. ප්‍රෙෂර් වලට ටැබ්ලට්ස් 5යි, හයි බ්ලඩ් ෂුගර් වලට ටැබ්ලට්ස් 4යි, කොලෙස්ටරෝල් වලට 1යි. ආමාශය රැඳෙන කෝටර් ටැබ්ලට්ස් අර දිය වෙන්න පරක්කු වෙන්න මොකද බේත් තිබුණ නැත්නම් එකපාර ශනිකව මගේ ප්‍රෙෂර් වැඩි වෙනවා. 2016 මම එක වතාවක් පැරලයිස් වෙන තත්ත්වයට වැටෙන්න ගියා. මගේ සහෝදරයා මාව ළඟින් ඉඳලා අල්ලගත්ත හින්දා තමයි මට මේ අවස්ථාවේ ආරක්ෂා වෙන්න ලැබුණේ. ඒ වෙලාවේ තමයි ડોක්ටර්ස්ලා මගේ ගොඩක් බේත් වැඩි කරේ. ඔයගේ ප්‍රෙෂර් එක අඩු වෙන්නේ නැහැ කියලා. ගොඩාක් මහතට හිටියේ. මටම මං ගැන කලකිරලා තිබුණේ. මීටර් 30ක් ඇවිදින්න බෑ ගොඩක් හති.
අවසානයේදී මේකත් එක්ක එකතු වෙන තව දෙයක් වුණා. ඒ තමයි අධික ණය බර කියන එක.
වාහන ව්‍යාපාරය කරගෙන ගියේ 2020 ඉඳන් ආව ආර්ථික ගැටලුත් එක්ක මගේ ව්‍යාපාරය කඩා වැටෙනවා. මිලියන 50 බැංකුවල පොලියත් එක්ක මිලියන 58ක් වෙලා තිබුණා. ලොකු ඔළුවේ තිබුණ ගැටලුව තමයි ෆයිනෑන්ෂල් ප්‍රශ්නේ. බැංකුවලින් ලියුම් එවනවා, වෙන්දේසි කරන්න හදනවා දේපල.
මේ ඔක්කොම එකතු වුණාට පස්සේ මනස කොහොමද කියලා ඔබට හිතා ගන්න පුළුවන්.
සියදිවි නසා ගන්න පවා සිතුවිලි පවා මට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා.
දිග කතාවක් මේක. කෙටි කරලා කියන්න. ඔහු 2022 නොවැම්බර් මාසේ අවසාන සතියේදී ප්‍රොෆෙට් ජෙරෝම් මේ විදිහට මුණ ගැසුණාට පස්සේ ප්‍රොෆෙට් ජෙරෝම් නහුට උපස්ථාන කළා.
2018 onwards,
2018 පස්සේ
I see an accumulation of money. 15 and 16 profitable years.
2015 හොඳට ලාභ ලැබුවා. ඊට පස්සේ 2018
down.
වැටුණා.
There's money that is owed.
ණය වෙච්ච මුදල් තිබෙනවා.
50 million.
God is giving you wisdom.
දෙවියන් වහන්සේ ඔයාලට ප්‍රඥාව දෙනවා.
Before money, wisdom.
මුදල් වලට කලින් ප්‍රඥාව.
Receive wisdom.
ප්‍රඥාව ලබා ගන්න.
I decree and declare.
මම තීන්දුව කර ප්‍රකාශ කරනවා.
This cycle of 7 months
මේ මාස 7ක චක්‍රය
is broken now.
දැන් කැඩී යනවා.
එතකොට ඒක අවුරුදු දෙකක කාලයක් යයි කිව්වා මේක විසඳෙන්න. බය වෙන්න එපා. මේක අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම විසඳෙනවා කියලා මට ඒක දුන්නා.
The Holy Spirit behind you. මුදල් නෙමෙයි පස්සකින් ශුද්ධාත්ම වහන්සේ තමයි ක්‍රියාව කරන්නේ.
ඔහු බොහොම අවංකව උද්‍යෝගයෙන් විශ්වාසයෙන් ඇදහිල්ලෙන් ඒ කියපු වචනය වැළඳ ගත්තා. ඊට පස්සේ ඔහු ඒ වෙනුවෙන් ක්‍රියාත්මක වෙන්න පටන් ගත්තා. පුදුම විදිහට එයාගේ ජීවිතය වෙනස් වෙන්න පටන් ගත්තා. දිනචර්යාව වෙනස් වෙන්න පටන් ගත්තා. ශරීරය වෙනස් වෙන්න පටන් ගත්තා. එක දිගට ශරීරය බර අඩු වුණා.
හරියටම දෙසැම්බර් ඉඳලා අප්‍රේල් වෙනකොට මම බර 115කට හිටියේ. කිලෝග්‍රෑම් 50ක් අඩු වුණා මාස 4ක් ඇතුළත. මගේ වෛද්‍යවරයාට හිතා ගන්න බෑ මගේ ප්‍රෙෂර් කොහොමද අඩු වුනේ, මගේ ෂුගර් කොහොමද නැති වුනේ. මම මොන තරම් ෂුගර් පාවිච්චි කරලා ගිහිල්ලා බ්ලඩ් ටෙස්ට් ගත්තත් කිසිම ආකාරයක වැඩි නෑ. මේ ෆයිනෑන්ෂල් ප්‍රශ්නේ අද වෙනකොට සම්පූර්ණ මිලියන 58ම ගෙවන්න මුදල් හම්බෙලා ඒ සම්පූර්ණම මම ණයෙන් දැන් නිදහස්. පවුල් අතින් මගේ ව්‍යාපාර අතින් ඒ වගේ මගේ සෞඛ්‍ය අතින් සම්පූර්ණම මම නිදහස් වෙලා ඉන්නේ. කිසිම ගැටලුවක් නැහැ. මම දෙවනාසයට ස්තුතිවන්ත වෙනවා. ඒ වගේම දිවසිවරයට ස්තුතිවන්ත වෙනවා. දිවසිවරයාගේ ආශිර්වාදය දීලා මාව මේ තත්ත්වයට නිදහස් කළා. මම දැන් නිදහස් ඉන්න නිසා.
මේක තමයි යේසුස් වහන්සේගේ සැබෑ ආශ්චර්යය.
Prophet Jerome, more than just words.
ඇවිත් බලන්න.
Pastor Shiran, prophesy, man of God.
Prophesy.
Your life will never be the same.
Hallelujah.
When I look at you,
ඔබගේ ජීවිතය දැක්කාම
Lord told me, son, it's a numbers game. Because when I see you, I see the number 36 right in front of you.
අංක 36 මම දකිනවා ඔබගේ ඉදිරියේ.
And I know it is directly connected to you. How old are you?
36 years.
Prophesy, man of God.
Prophesy, man of God. And I'm asking the Lord, what do I tell him, Lord? He takes me 8 steps back. Not front, back. And then I'm in the month of March. And something significant happened in his life in the month of March, which caused loss.
මම තීරණය කරනවා මගේ රැකියාවෙන් අයින් වෙන්න.
He decides to quit his job in the month of March.
A decision he took thinking that he will move forward in life took him back 3 years in life. And I see nothing working out. And the Lord put this figure in front of me. 30,000, and he put a cross and he said, son, it doesn't matter what new beginning he gets into. If this 30,000 matter is not fixed, ask him what this 30,000 problem.
මොකද්ද මේ 30000 සම්බන්ධ කාරණා ඔබේ
මම
ජීවිතේ?
අවුරුදු 10ක් තිස්සේ කෙනෙක්ට දෙන්න තියෙන ණයක්.
Wow! And he's been hiding from this man for the past 10 years. And he just speaks everything bad he can speak into his life. But I see him stepping into a new opportunity with 65,000 very soon.
ඉතා ඉක්මනින්.
You're just entering a new job. What is your salary?
හෙට ඉඳන් යන එක 65,000.
He can come to the new job. His salary is 65,000.
We don't play games. But if he is to sustain that 65,000, you ought to settle this 30,000.
මේ 30000 සම්පූර්ණ කරන්න ඕන ගෙවලා.
Because that is going to be the end of a prevailing problem in your life. But listen to me. The first 3 months in this organization that you get into from tomorrow is going to be good. You're going to feel energized. Then I see from the 3rd to the 6th, a snake steps in which you may lose your balance. I sent you the warning. Name it. Because when he comes into your life, you are going to control. Warning is given to you. If you do the 3 to 6 properly, I'd see you doing a 24, which is a 2 years in this organization.
ඉතින් මම දකිනවා 24ක් ඔබ අවුරුදු දෙකක් මේ ඉස්සානේ හොඳින් රැඳී සිටින්න යනවා.
And to prove to you, this company, whatever you're getting into, belong to a group of companies. And this has something to do with serving people. Restaurant, hotel, something like that.
මං ට්‍රාන්සිට් හොටෙල් එකක වැඩ කරන්නේ.
Wow, he's going to
3
serve in
months,
transit hotel.
you will feel welcome like never before. But 3 to 6, manage Samantha. Because I see you going up to even 180,000 in this company.
මැටිප වැඩි වෙනවා.
Your time is changing.
ඔබගේ කාලය වෙනස් වෙනවා දැන්.
And as a result of me coming to you, I speak a power blessing of Christ Jesus. Right now, may my Christ Jesus do for you what you can do for yourself. Be the greatest ambassador you have been for Christ. In Jesus' precious name. Lives changing in the solutions ground. I said lives are changing in the solutions ground. Speak to God, speak to God, because your life is about to be changed now. Praise Jesus. Praise God. I said praise God. Welcome to another episode of the Boardroom, where powerful nuggets will be discussed again. You will be given practical navigation skills to take over the marketplace. There is grace here for you to be recognized, and you will definitely take over territories. If that is you, give Jesus the highest praise. Yes. We open the boardroom by giving praise to the only name that made me who I am. That is Christ Jesus. My source, my supply, and the one that I go to in every hour I'm in need. And He has never disappointed me. Before we go any further, thank you, Dad, thank you, Mom, for giving us the boardroom. Thank you for giving us the boardroom. Because the boardroom is special. It's a forum where lives, again I'm saying it, lives will be transformed. And on to my left, you saw the panelists. They introduced themselves. A power-packed panel. Yet again, we want to answer as many questions as possible. Today, I don't want to leave the boardroom without answering a minimum of 30 questions. 30 questions. 30 life-changing, life-transforming questions.
That's right.
Listen, people. The people who learn in life, who really learn in life, are the ones who ask questions. Don't shy yourself or be shy to ask questions. Because the practical learning from asking and answering is a different level. So take time, make use of it, ask questions, send in your questions. Media, put in the details how they can send in their questions. That's right, WhatsApp your questions. And today is a day we want to answer at least 30 questions. So if you don't share, I'm going to question myself and answer the question. Because I want you to learn. Right? Dimuthu Peiris on my left. The chocolatier, they say the chocolatier, the sweetest chocolatier in the glorious church. What do you have to say to the people who are connected today?
Always excited to be at the boardroom and, of course, to learn the nuggets. And you were saying on the way that you want to answer at least 30 questions. So send in.
Today is a day for Q&A. Show me my people. Show me Prophet Jerome's people online. Where are these people? Please give the media some energy drinks, because we want more energy in this space, in the environment. Where are the people, man? Oh, see. Please, what beautiful people. Unmute a few. Unmute a few. Ray and Shirley, always. Who else? Bring them a little bigger so I can see them. Oh, brilliant. William Thomas, welcome. Rajesh, welcome. Jennifer, welcome. Oh. Watmi Fernando, welcome. Dale Bibile, nice to see you again. Valentina. Oh, Shanti, thank you for connecting. Today we are going to learn from the parable of the shrewd manager, Luke 16. So let's read. Gamika. me read.
Yes, Pastor. And he said also unto his disciples, there was a certain rich man which had a steward, and the same was accused unto him that he had wasted his goods.
All right. Underline the word steward. Let's keep going.
And he called him and said unto him, how is it that I hear this of thee? Give an account of thy stewardship, for thou mayest be no longer steward.
Right. Let's stop there. So this parable has two sides to it. The first one is talking about stewardship. The marketplace, in the marketplace, another word, the marketplace reference to stewardship is management. Pastor Adrian, welcome. Pastor Sue, welcome. So the reference, the marketplace reference is management. So what is the opposite of management? Sherman?
Mismanagement.
Mismanagement. Now, this is relevant. This is relevant, Pastor Ishan, to everyone in the marketplace. You can be employed, you can be an employer. Mismanagement, which is the opposite of management, can reduce you to nothing. Go back. And he said unto his disciples,
And he said also unto his disciples, there was a certain rich man which had a steward, and the same was accused unto him that he had wasted his goods.
Next one.
16:2. And he called him and said unto him, how is it that I hear this of thee? Give an account of thy stewardship, for thou mayest be no longer steward.
Okay.
Then the steward said within himself, what shall I do? For my Lord taketh away from me the stewardship. I cannot dig, to beg I am ashamed.
To be begging is to be taken off everything. So if something is mismanaged, the spiritual reference to management is stewardship. The marketplace reference to stewardship is management. If the opposite of management is mismanagement. If something is mismanaged, you can be reduced to nothing. Why and what do people mismanage? Mismanage in the businesses, and what do people mismanage in person? 3 key elements. If you mismanage, you can be reduced to nothing. 1, time. 2, people. 3, money. If you take any business in the marketplace, Pastor Hisham, that has been reduced to nothing, it is a common, we can take a common, failure, which is the business has not been able to manage time. If you aren't able to manage time, you become irrelevant. Because you aren't relevant in season. Anything that is not relevant in season has wasted time. Close the door. Anything that is not performing in season or bringing forth fruit in season has wasted time. If you see businesses that have failed, is because one key reason, Sherman, is they haven't brought forth fruit in season.
Yes.
Jesus, when the fruit wasn't there in the fig tree, what did he do? He cursed the fig tree. There is a season to bring fruit. And if the fruit is not seen in season, it is because time has been wasted. And if time is wasted, you become irrelevant. Then, why another reason people fail in the marketplace or businesses fail in the marketplace is because they aren't able to manage people. People are one of the greatest resources in the marketplace. And if you aren't able to manage people, it's only a matter of time before the business comes to a halt. Yesterday, Prophet taught us on EQ, SQ, emotional quotient, intelligent quotient, IQ, SQ, social quotient, and AQ, adversity quotient. So, if you can, do I have a board here? If you draw a grid and have 4 squares in it, IQ, EQ, SQ, AQ. All 4 is essential for you to be the best in the marketplace. But EQ is what? Emotional equity, emotional quotient. You need to understand this year, do an evaluation of yourself. Now, what is EQ? Emotional quotient. IQ is intelligent quotient. All right? Then SQ is social quotient. Then AQ is adversity quotient. You need, I personally feel you need to perform, or you need to be relevant, and you need to be, you need to gather all these 4 qualities if you are to win in the marketplace. So this year, understand where you are, in which area you need to improve, in which area you have your strengths in, and make it a priority to increase in all 4 areas this year. Now, for me, IQ, I think I'm strong, but EQ, I need to get better. No, right? The IQ, IQ good, EQ need to get better. SQ, also I think I'm good, but I'm trying to get better at it. Adversity quotient, those guys are the guys who can manage, navigate through any adversity. And I always say, the problem solvers, the ones who are always in demand, what are you doing this year to sharpen those skills? What are you doing this year to become a better problem solver? All you do is give more problems. A man and a woman who is able to solve problems, I've always said it, will always be. And it's such a valuation to any environment they are part. So what are you doing this year? What are you doing this year to become the best problem solver you have ever been in life? You need to look at people who are amazing at solving problems and start looking at them, learning from them, and develop strategy. Adapt it. Right? Understand the strategy they implement. Adapt it. And then, become better. It's the problem solvers that will take over territorial command. So this year you have to make a conscious effort to sharpen that. Right? Then, how did we get there, Sherman? We got there talking about people. People are, your inability to manage people can put you 10 years back. Why aren't some of you, or some of them, not you, some of them out there aren't able to secure a promotion? Why? Because you might be good at what you're doing as an individual performer, But with people, you're horrible. Your tone can be the smallest reason. Your tone is too loud when you talk to people, and people don't like loud tone. Something so small like that is keeping a promotion away from you. And victory sometimes is in the small things, not the... Right? People. You invest in the wrong people, when that happens, you're exposing your company to wrong people, and the wrong people can take wrong decisions. And the wrong decision can bring the company down. So, people, mismanage people, and you're asking for it. Third one is money. A common trait in most businesses that fail is number one, time. They didn't bring forth fruit in season. 2, the business couldn't manage people. Or an employee who failed couldn't manage, or employee that couldn't perform to a level that he or she should be performing, may have been a person bad in relationships. And thirdly, it is money. Look at any business that has failed. Look at any person that is not doing what he or she ought to be doing in life, is purely because they have mismanaged money. Businesses collapse when the business mismanages money. People's lives go back 10 steps when they start mismanaging money. So how can money be mismanaged? Finance guru. We have labeled you finance guru. Okay? Now, tell me, how can businesses, give me 3 ways businesses can mismanage money. Right? I want that answer from you. Kaushalya, how can, now I spoke about an individual, how they can mismanage relationships and not be in a place or at a place they ought to be. Because they can be perfect in achieving personal goals, but with people, they just don't get along. And I said tone can be one. Then it's just selfish attitude can be one. So many things. But give me 3 ways a business can mismanage people, right? And completely divert from where they should be. First, Sherman, money. Then Kaushalya will talk about people. And then maybe we will get Pastor Ishan to share your experience on how people have mismanaged time, or businesses have mismanaged time and really gone out of the picture, right? So, you know what is coming your way now, right? Pre-planned questions. Until you send in your questions, I am asking the questions for you, right? So, Sherman, please educate the people.
Okay. Pastor Shiran and Dimuthu, first of all, thank you for having me. Thank you, Prophet and Pastor Melanie, for this opportunity. I would like to little bit elaborate on this question, Pastor. This word mismanagement, although it sounds very corporate, it affects every one of us, one of our lives. If you take family, how you manage money in your family. If you live below your means, above your means.
That's not the question. The question is, how do businesses mismanage money?
Yes.
Not individuals. We'll get to businesses. 3 ways businesses mismanage money and get eradicated. Give me 3 ways businesses do it. And this is what I want people to.
Okay. Businesses mismanage money. One way would be if you take the revenue, people sell goods for just to increase the revenue for credit. So they have a bigger sales number and the money has not come. Money is in debtors. So that money has not come into the company. Number 2, the company would have spent for their raw material without doing much research. The raw material prices would have been more. So then they will have a problem in their gross profit. Number 3 is the company's cost management. Working capital cost management is high. So 3 ways are revenue, sales were done on credit, then the money has not come into the company. The raw material prices are high and they have bought the raw material not from the right sources, and the working capital of the company has been spending over cost. So those are the 3 things.
So working capital, if it is not managed properly, can be the beginning of a serious downfall of an organization.
Yes, that is the first symptom of a company is heading for a financial crisis.
So how do you manage the working capital better? Give the people 2 tips on how to manage working capital better in an organization.
Working capital is primarily coming from your sales. Your sales, your credit policies has to be aligned properly. For example, if you are giving your customers credit for 30 days, at least you should have supplier credit for 45 days. If you are paying the suppliers prior to collecting money from your customers.
So managing the debtor and the creditor.
Debtor and the creditor.
Okay. See, cash flow. See, this is, if you aren't able to manage the cash flow, it's almost like the business can come to a standstill overnight. All right. So to plan the cash flow, planning the cash flow is ultra important, right? You cannot just decide, okay, today I'm spending this. You plan for it. So how do you plan for it? Can it be a weekly planning? Can it be a monthly planning? What is the most practical way to do it, Shiran?
Most practical way is you have to do before your financial year starting, you have to have your annual budget broken down into monthly basis. So annual budget broken down into monthly basis, as a best practice, you have to monitor your budget achievements every month.
See, so we are learning. Budgeting. Annual budgeting. Now that is something we take very seriously in my company. Annual budgeting. Right? And then break it down into a monthly performance KPIs. And then you have to monitor it. Right? You can't be surprised with certain expenses. It has to be planned. But of course you need to have that element where you can accommodate expense that needs to happen immediately. Right? Whilst you manage it not to be, always happening, consistent occurrence, but you need to have some kind of an element of room to accommodate something like that.
True.
But again, the key aspect to cash flow management is to manage your creditors, right, and debtors. Right. That is, see, if you are in sales, we are giving you practical knowledge, right? If you are a salesperson, one thing I always tell my salespeople is not to go, first, don't overpromise. 2, don't go and sell beyond the customer need, right? For them to meet targets, they go and give the customer more than they need. But when it comes to collection, targets are never met. The best salespeople are the people who are able to sell whilst maintaining the collection targets. And that is very important. Because that is where the money is coming into the business.
One more thing I have to add, Shiran, the stocks. How much stocks level that you are carrying. So that your money is tied up in the stocks. So you have to manage the right level of inventory that you need.
Correct. Excess stock is stuck money. And that money is not turning around. Right? So, thank you, Sherman. Yes?
So a lot of people come to you for mentoring, especially with their businesses and stuff. And I remember almost like maybe 80-90% of them, they mismanage their company funds by using it for personal use.
Correct.
So you can share a few.
So you need to understand, if you are in business, the company money is not your personal money. The company and you are two separate entities. One is a person, other one is an entity. It has to be looked at like that. And you can't, just because you own it, you can't decide when to pull out and when to put in. There has to be a procedure. And till the company is stable, I always recommend to pull out in stages. Right? Don't pull out. It's very simple. Don't try. As one of the greatest reasons people fail in business is, while the business is growing steadily, their desires are growing exponentially. The business is growing steadily, but this guy now wants to drive a Range Rover overnight. Finito. Steady progress. Now his desires have grown exponentially. All he wants to do is spend. His focus is not there to grow the business. So suddenly the balance is not right. Now there is a guy who is trying to show the world, right? Living for the world. So expenses also start going completely haywire. The focus starts shifting towards himself and not the business. There's no fuel to grow the business, but the personal expenses keep increasing. Finished. You need to understand, you need to give a business time to grow. And you also have to grow with the business. You cannot overgrow the business. If the day you overgrow the business, that's it. And that is where you have to be conscious and live, I won't say according to your means, but live in reality.
Yes, that's right.
Because the moment you start living in a fairy tale, that is when things start completely going on. Thank you, Sherman. So, Kaushalya.
Thank you, Pastor Shiran and Dimuthu. So I'm going to look at it from 3 key relationships that we need to manage. 2 being external and 1 being internal. So if I'm to name first your customers, your stakeholders, and then your employees. Something that businesses tend to do mistakenly is that they have a cookie cutter method for your customers.
Cookie cutter method?
Yes. So
take it down. Cookie cutter method. Okay.
So cookie cutter method is where you have the same mold, like a cookie is always the same mold. But in any business, you know, where the Pareto rule, it's 80-20. So 20% of your customers are definitely going to give you the 80% of your revenue. So the way you treat them, the relationships you manage, obviously it has to be different. And that's why you have priority services, that's why you have loyalty schemes. Yeah. So if a business is to survive, you have to cohort your customer base. And unfortunately, certain customers may not get the same treatment, but you need to, because you will not have ultimate resources or infinite resources. So how do you really manage your resources? How do you really manage your employees that is being connected to your customers according to the way the customer engages with you? So that becomes key, because you don't want your high value engaging customers to lose, because that would be detrimental for your business. Then your stakeholders. Your stakeholders can be your value chain, can be your policy and compliance, can be your law and enforcement, can be government stakeholders that you need to handle, and then you obviously have your shareholders. And all these stakeholders have different interest in your business. So how do you maneuver your business to meet the different interest of all these stakeholders? Your value chain could be your suppliers, to your logistics, to all that. Obviously has to be, you will have to keep them informed, keep them engaged. But you get your high priority stakeholders, be it your law and enforcement and your policy makers. It is a different way that you have to manage. Your networking needs to be different. Otherwise, what would happen is, again, the relationships may not necessarily meet at the point that the equilibrium that it needs to meet, which could be detrimental to your business. Last but not least, your employees. I think sometimes we are very good at annually reviewing them. But in order for your business to sustain, I think you need to have a trickle-down effect, not from a high-level annual sort of a renewal, but even from a departmental level or a sub-segment level, where you have that continuous engagement, continuous feedback mechanism with your employees. So at the annual renewal or the annual performance review, no employee is now shocked to hear where they stand. So you have this continuous engagement with your employees that gives them as well the understanding as to where they are going, which is very important, because they are your biggest asset and they are your sort of face to the organization. So that's how I would kind of look at the people segment.
Brilliant. So you spoke about 80% of the business comes from 20% of the customer base, which is very true. In most businesses, that's the truth. And of course, the way you take care of the 20 has to be there are different levels of service. That's why in airlines you have the first class, you have the business class, and you have the premium economy and the economy. The treatment the first class gets is not what business class gets. What business class gets is not what economy class gets. That is reality. Because people pay for what they actually get. And what they pay determines the levels of service. The reality is that. The airline industry is a brilliant example. The airline doesn't give it free of charge. The customer pays for it. And what he pays for it determines the levels of service he or she is going to get. There is an expectation when you pay for it. There's an expectation, right? A company that is able to fulfill expectation. Because when a consumer is about to spend money, is about to release finances, there is a preconceived expectation. Now, a business's ability to fill that or to minimize that gap or to fill that gap determines how much a customer will appreciate your brand. A continuous, repetitive customer. And your ability. That is what determines your ability to take over market share. Right? So if you are a business or even an employee in a business, one of your greatest objectives should be to understand the customer expectation. Your ability to understand the customer expectation like no one else in the market puts you 10 steps ahead. Then, first is identification. Some of the best real estate agents,
how they are able to be so constantly relevant is they are able to know the customer expectation before they actually close the deal, right? Because they study the customer before they actually meet the customer. Who is this customer? What does he drive? How does he dress? Where does he go to? What does he eat? You know the information. The information that you gather before you meet the customer puts you 10 steps ahead. Then you go with information that will enable you to offer something that will best match customer expectation. So what is that? It's a not a workout. It's a pre-planning. It's a pre-preparation. A pre-preparation to meeting customer expectation. And people like that are the ones who close some of the biggest deals. They are pre-prepared before. And to do that, you need to find out more of the customer. I have salespeople come to me. Forget salespeople. There are people who, and if you are a person looking for a job, questions are coming? Very much. If you are a person looking for a job, don't be like those ones who go to the interview knowing only 10% of what the company does. Be pre-prepared. That's right. Know what the company is doing very well before you go for an interview. That's right. Some of the guys I reject in interviews are the ones, hey, you know what we do? A little bit. You know little bit. And you want this position. Little bit. And they say little also, not little. Little bit. And you have the audacity to apply for this role. No, before you go, prepare, be pre-prepared unlike anyone else to match the expectations. See, now, an employer has an expectation for a particular employee. Your ability to match that expectation as close as possible is the one who will win and take over. So you have to now, this year and the year of territorial command, you need to go back to the drawing board. Understand before you go to sell what information you need to gather. And then prepare how to implement it. Are we learning?
Yes. Chairman, there are a lot of questions pouring in. So we have Seth Kelly from the UK. She's on Zoom. Thank you, Pastor Shiran. You are obviously very successful running several profitable companies. Can you give us an idea of how you manage your time for efficiency and what your daily routine is like?
My daily routine. Okay. In different seasons, my routine changed. There was a time I used to wake up at 4. I still do sometimes, but not consistently like what I used to. Because this season doesn't require that. But the other seasons that I was in required that. I was a very consistent starter. And I used to feed. My wife is there. Why? Hey, sometimes you have to let the wife speak. Because if you are the one who is only speaking, there's no point. Let her speak on my behalf. And you tell them what I did. And the little things, don't give the secret sauce. Huh? Don't give the secret sauce. But tell them.
Which version?
Any version you want is good.
Yeah. So one thing with Shiran I learned was consistency and perseverance. he had been a consistent man throughout, and we've been married for 16 years this year. And all I can say is, like I said, different seasons. He was a man who's able to adapt. He is a man who's able to adapt to different seasons in different ways, so that he can perform at his most optimal at every season, relevant in every season. His day and time, like I said, sometimes it's a 4 a.m. So we as a family have, media is really helpful to me today.
Prashant, give them 2 energy drinks each. Where is the Prashant? You first take one and then give them 2 each.
Thank you, but we appreciate you all.
Yeah, you're a brilliant man.
You're
You're brilliant.
amazing. So like I said, let me start over. So consistency and perseverance. And with each season, I think you were able to adapt at the most optimal needed relevance at every stage of your life.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's a 4 a.m. And like I was about to say, as a family, we always need to be on our toes and able to adapt to his schedules. So he'll say, okay, at 1 I'll come and let's do this. I'll have to wait. And if there are any changes, I need to be able to adapt to it without watching that time zone.
One thing I had in her was a very accommodative spouse. Now, when I go to work, I have this thing called the 10 task rule. 10 task rule. I need to finish at least 10 proper things, jobs, targets, achievements a day. 10 minimum. Now, that is how I handled a particular season. But now it is not 10, it can even be 20. A time will never limit me. Okay, it is 5. Now it is time to pack my socks. No. My heart is what tells me. My inner man is what tells me you are done for the day. I don't let a clock determine, okay, now is the time to close. It doesn't happen like that.
Yeah.
Because the business is a representation of the man.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
The business is a representation of the man. Now listen, guys, listen to me. Okay? Please understand. What you love, how can you limit time? How can you limit the time you give to something you love? God gave us everything He had in one man, Christ Jesus. Everything in one man, Christ Jesus. Did God limit anything to us? Why? Because God loved us. Now the business, a blessing to us. We are the blessing to the business, but the business is also a blessing to us.
Yeah.
Now something that is so close to your heart, how can you limit your time to it?
Yeah.
You can't limit time. It's not that I'm saying be a workaholic. No, you have to have wisdom to understand. There are some people I know. They get to work only at 10 because that has become a routine. I will only go to work at 10, I will only work till 3. How can you run something like that with limitations? Don't be a limited man running an unlimited company.
That's true.
Because as soon as you become a limited man, you limit what God can do with that business. Practical wisdom. When I go to work, you think I go thinking I'll come at 5? She will say, okay, 5 o'clock we need to go and see Auntie Susie. There's no Auntie Susie. Okay? Or Auntie Lolly.
Who's that?
Someone back then. Okay. No, okay. But listen, Susi or Lolly can wait. But what needs to happen in the business on that day has to be done on that day.
That's right.
Because I won't go home otherwise. I will close well every day.
That's right.
People talk about closing the year in style. Hey, before you close the year in style, close your day in style.
That's true.
You can't close 2 days in style and you're thinking about closing the year in style. Territorial command. Dream of it. Dream. First start closing 1 day at a time in style. 1 day at a time in style. And if you are able to close 1 day at a time, then you get into something called momentum. And with momentum, with exposure, with consistency, you become a closer of the year of. This audience is sleeping. I need more energy in the audience. You close the year in style. What is year of?
Territorial command.
But how do you get there? Day. No, 5:30, time to go home. No! I have a way to close this day. Your inner man will tell you, no, finish this, son. Do it a little differently. Sometimes when they are not there, the silence will help you to craft it a little differently. So do it in that way. Right? So I'm teaching you through questions. And
That's something that you do. You do have a quite like frequent silent breaks. And at that time, I mean, we know to leave you alone as well at that time.
So there's this thing that I practice. There are times I want to be completely by myself because that's when all the creativity starts taking place. That's when most of the strategy comes into play. Practical nuggets.
And also, I'm giving these nuggets, and he said, I have been an accommodating wife. I didn't learn it yesterday, and I didn't learn it 15 years ago.
Talk about it.
Because I want to say, I mean, I'm sure there are wives who are here as well. It didn't happen yesterday. It took a lot from mom's side to groom me into the wife I am today.
Mom, oh my gosh, Mom, I'm telling you, I am so grateful to my spiritual mother for molding my beautiful wife. And without my spiritual father, I will never communicate like this. Right? Questions, keep the questions coming. I still know, I know you need to answer that question.
Yes, Pastor. This is on trust. Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much. How do you test trustworthiness in leaders or employees today? This is from Samuel.
Pastor Minoli, give them an answer for them to remember for 10 years. Nothing less. 10 years.
Thank you, Pastor Shiran and Dimuthu. Trust. So what I believe is, for you to trust, you have to give it in little components first. You have to trust your employees. Sorry, Rebecca, are they asking from an employee point of view, or?
They're asking for leaders and employees, Pastor.
Right. So it starts anything in life, as Pastor Shiran explained, you have to take it in stages. So trust is also something that you build in stages. So you would know if you take a relationship also, it has its stages. So similarly, when it comes to the corporate sector in your company, for you to trust your employees, for you to trust your customers, your suppliers, your network chain, you have to give that space that is required and then take it in little components is how I would answer that question.
Little components. Little components. Understand, everything starts in little. Little. But you, don't be like that little, turning up. I know a little bit. but everything starts in little components. The one who is able to do that little thing right is the one who will do the big thing right. Thank you, Pastor Minoli. Brilliant. Pastor Hisham, did you forget the question?
No, your question is around mismanagement of time.
Time.
Yes.
Time.
So in my tech industry, if I take all the different departments, there are two key departments that are profit centers. That's sales and research and development, and the rest is cost centers. So it's critical to manage their time because, if I take the sales team, for example, the sales team typically works for 8 hours, but in reality, if I can get 4.5 hours, that's optimum. So I have to ensure that I exactly do what they do. So from a sales lead, the tracking, to the times, the calls, the deal flow, I put systems to ensure I know what exactly they do, right? So my deal size could be $1,000 or could be $10 million. Now imagine if I'm having a team member selling a $1,000 deal for over 6 months. It doesn't make sense. So there's a cutoff time. A deal size is X and that's it. Either you spend that time or you move on to the larger deal. So decision making, analysis, compete, all of these are flown into the engine. We could call it a CRM. And based on the decision, we know how to run the deal. So we optimize and we control the time. When it comes to my development, most of my teams work either on an hourly rate or a day rate. It could be X amount of dollars. So that's cost plus profit. For me, if I've got a project that's running 400 hours, if I don't optimize my team, I'm going to lose my top line and the bottom line. So we bring in systems to track the developers. It may be the amount of code lines they write per minute. Are they actually on the system? Are they doing research? If they're doing research, if I spend some time on research, I want the research to be brought back into the knowledge base so someone else can optimize that time. So we bring in feedback loops so we control and we understand, we can analyze the type of development. So today we've moved one step ahead. We know that a developer would need 2 weeks to do a thing called a sprint, right? But we brought automated tools that could do it in 2 days. So it's more profitable and it's optimized. We optimize time.
Automated tools to optimize time. He ended it brilliantly. There are tools now that you can utilize to optimize time. How informed are you about that? What do you know? What is your knowledge on that? What have you done to gather knowledge on tools that will help you optimize time? In the year of territorial command, you have to invest time to understand tools, study, learn tools, learn on tools that will help you optimize time. AI is one. Artificial intelligence. What else? Name two more. Now in factories, with the people becoming very, very difficult to find. Robotics is now slowly coming and taking over. Then what else?
Agentic AI. Huh? Agentic AI. So we call it digital twinning, where we take a person in one of your departments and we twin the person. And over time, that person becomes a digital robot. So what you can do is you can replicate the person. So if I have X amount of capacity, I can replicate myself 10x, 20x at a very fraction of the cost. And I'm optimized because I don't make mistakes.
Now, see, these are things even we are learning. There are softwares you can buy that will summarize an entire book.
Yeah.
And people with information are people who have an edge in the marketplace. What have you done? How many books do you read? That is practical wisdom. People don't take it for granted. What do you're on TikTok? Watching dancing videos. Sandra? You have to buy those softwares. There are business books, there are leadership books, maybe 40, 50, 100 pages you can read in summarized version in 2 hours or 1 hour. Invest your time into things like that. That's how the ones who are performing out there are really taking over. They know shortcuts. That's right. Shortcuts. Trust me, reduce the time you're on social media and invest it in things that add value to your life. Get off that phone call that you are constantly on, talking unwanted things. Reduce, in this year of territorial command, reduce all that and invest in things that will add value to you. Now we are giving you practical wisdom. Social media is good, but limit that time and invest that time into adding more value into you. So, time, let it not be a limitation to anything. This will tell you. Go ahead. And so, what do I say? What did I say? Try to close a day well, without trying to close a year first. Right? Step by step. Next question.
Chairman, there are many questions. So there is this question on stewardship. Is stewardship linked to future planning? Is it more on future planning for the organization?
Stewardship is management. The marketplace reference to it is management. Right? So management is relevant to short term, long term and future. Right? It's not only futuristic. What you first manage what is there right now. Because if you are managing what is there right now, you will not have anything to manage in the future. Yes. Right? So you need to have some quality. Now he spoke about you spoke about cash flow management. You spoke about managing your debtors and creditors.
Inventory.
You spoke about managing inventory. Right? So all of that is very relevant not only for the long term but also to the short term. Kaushalya said something, your ability to manage your internal and external stakeholders. Right? I think one of the keys to doing that is to have the right person in the right role. One way people get mismanaged is because you have the wrong person in the wrong role.
Very true.
So businesses take time to evaluate the people and their roles, not only their KPIs, but their attitudes, their personality, and their relevance to the particular role. Now the PR to manage the customer and the charisma to manage the employee, two different things. Two different types of people. So you as a leader, if you are a CEO or a GM, you should understand your people first. Have you put the right man in the right place? That is one of the biggest letdowns to manage people. Having the wrong man in the wrong place. You think, why do you think he's the right man? See, when do you decide it? At interview. At an interview, what they say and what they do can be different.
That's right, true.
Constantly monitor. But if you are the person that is leading a role in managing a particular group, you have to be the best at that. And that is where we told you, be the best at managing expectation. Or be the best at, what is it? My pen. Be the best at bridging expectations. Management expectation, employees expectation. Management expectation, customer expectation. If you are the best at bridging that, you'll always be relevant. Why is Prophet Jerome so relevant? Because he gives it in a way that is a CEO will understand, and even a O-level student will understand. But give some of our leaders the mic to talk, they talk rubbish. Because what they say will only appeal to few and to half irrelevant. So you have to be able to communicate holistically. That is the ones who will really be remembered. A holistic communicator, a one that will appeal to. Next question. I think we can even stop the teaching here and answer questions because people are learning from questions. Yes or no? Yes. Because we don't have to follow a routine. The second half of this teaching is use money and win people. That's what he's doing. So I will tell you, I'll come to that, I'll finish in 5 minutes, but let's answer more questions.
Sure, Pastor. This is from Gerald from Doha. In the context of Christian stewardship applied to personal real estate investing, how do we discern between wise long-term ownership and mismanagement? If an individual consistently acquires properties that appreciate in value, but those properties generate limited monthly rental income and are not actively optimized for cash flow, does that still reflect good stewardship? Or does stewardship...
Rebecca, that question is too long.
Okay.
Please ask him or her
Okay.
to shorten that question if they want a bullet answer.
Sure,
Right?
Pastor.
Shorten it so we give a to-the-point answer.
Sure, Pastor. We'll do that.
And till that, we'll take another question. Dwayne.
Yes. So we have another question. This is from Gerard. Why do you think Jesus links financial stewardship so closely with spiritual stewardship? What does this say about leaders handling money?
Pastor, please answer this question. I will give my take on it. You can repeat the question again?
Sure. Why do you think Jesus links financial stewardship so closely with spiritual stewardship? What does this say about leaders handling money?
Money is spiritual.
So, money is spiritual and it has to be governed correctly. Money will only stay if it is managed well, right? And for us to be good stewards and to finance the kingdom, we need to manage money well, right? And it's the most, I would say, most difficult part because many don't know how to manage money. So it's connected. So it's how you...
And the beginning to that is your tithe.
Let's come to that, yes.
Please.
So, even for me, let me put it this way, from a practical side. Before I became a Christian, it was like, you do what you want. You make life the way you want. But when I became a Christian, I realized life became very easy the more I tithed. Right? Even in a large business deal, let's say I was doing a very large deal in the last 3 months, I had to give a special offering for it to open, so it became very easy. So the more you tithe, the more the opportunities. When God trusts you, He entrusts you, and it's just a revolving thing. So it's about, what you give is what you get.
Brilliant.
I have a question for Pastor Shiran.
Please.
My weekly question time. How do you manage people? I'm sure you can give them 3 nuggets in your business place and...
How do you?
Manage people.
Manage people.
Yeah.
First of all, I try my best to select the right person for the right role. And sometimes I have made the wrong decision. But I try to get better at it. And I invest in people for the long term. That's something I really try to do. And I take care of my people.
That's right. Yeah.
I invest in people, and you can't invest in people and not take care of them.
Yeah, that's right.
And take care of people. You need to spend time with people. You can't invest time in people and not spend time in people. Yeah. Right? So you need to spend that time with people. Choose the right person and take care of them like their family. Because when that personal touch comes into the equation, they serve differently. Give whatever you're giving, not sparingly. Let them be comfortable in life. Let them be happy in life. Take care of them. And then they also start giving back in a way that they want the company to grow. Let them start talking like this company is ours. We are not working for you, we are working for our company.
Yeah.
Change that attitude. Change the perception. We are working for our company. Mindset is everything. Perception is everything. And then you take care of them.
And also patience levels. I mean, I've seen you really patient with people. I'm sure.
Oh yeah,
most
that
of
is
the people
something I lacked in style. Patience back then.
But now I actually learn from you to
Yeah.
manage
So
people.
actually, it's a journey. With maturity, it comes. We were very immature. We got married at 23. I was a baby and she was also a baby. Right? But, with time, with maturity, you need to make a conscious effort to be a more patient person. And
You give
also,
them
I
a
learned
lot
from
of-
Prophet.
Yes.
I learned from my spiritual father. And he's the one who has, he taught me how to be patient. So there were stages, I have never been this patient. And still I think I'm not patient.
You are very
But we are learning. It's a process and we are making a conscious effort to get there.
Chairman, we have a question from the audience. We have Nadira here with a question.
Thank you, Pastor Shiran and Dimuthu, for having me in the audience today. It is truly a privilege to be here, and I am positive that my capacity is increasing. So my question, Pastor Shiran, is, so I am a lead interior architect for a company that I work, and under me I have a team of designers. So something that I have noticed working with my team is that the designers that are under me are maybe say after 2000s. And I've really noticed that there is a sense of lack of drive and passion, because as a designer, something that you really need in order to survive in the industry, in order to do big things, you need to have the zeal, the drive, and the passion towards what you do. You need to enjoy your job. But sometimes I tend to see that is lacking in that group. So my question is, how do you handle such personalities and attitudes of a team, or rather maybe individuals that have that sort of lack of passion towards their job?
Why don't you give your comments to it, and then we will get. I will finish the question, but
Thank
I
you,
want.
Pastor.
Can you repeat the question again?
So how do you handle individuals or team or a group of people that sort of don't have that passion or drive towards your job, especially in an industry that is design oriented? How do you handle that sort of personalities and attitudes?
So actually now, what I see a lot, I mean, I may be wrong, please correct me. See, people like to work less now for a higher salary. And the generation now, I don't want to use the word lazy, but they've become so, they want comforts before anything. I mean, they're so talented. They have the vibe, they have everything going on for them. But they don't want to work as much as they should. I think they really lack, I mean, the gens, right? Yes. The gen this, gen that. Yeah. I believe that is.
So how do you manage that?
Manage it? I mean, I've seen you really spend a lot of time with your people. The thing what he does is he spends a lot of time with his people and does a lot of encouragement. And when you make it a bit personal, of course, it's like a boost up session for them. It's like a booster injection. Like, why don't you do this? You're so creative. It's always positivity, not going from, you're this, you're that, then they're going to go all low-key on you again. But, hey, you're so talented, why don't you? So that kind of encourage, because it can be because they come from a different, we don't know where they come from, their homes, their personal things. So all that adds up, but what if you're that one person who gives them that one word that says, hey, you can do it?
Words, she landed it in a beautiful place. Words. God spoke the world into being through words. Let there be light. Words. Words can give life. Use your words to give life to a person. It's a conscious thing. It's a conscious thing. And you have to get better at it every day. Use words to give life to a person.
Something we do even to our kids.
Yeah, so it starts, even a tree, the more you are able to speak to it, it's able to give you better fruit. So, why? You're always going to have people are different. Every person is different to each other. So the way to minimize the gap is to speak into them until the gap is minimized. That's a practical way to do it. Kaushalya?
So, something that I think this is very relevant because even where I am attached to quite a few Gen Zs, something that I have kind of managed and my team does is we become relevant towards them, which is, say if they're always on TikTok and say Nadira, if it's on your case, if you're talking to a bunch of designers, there may be certain sort of people who they aspire, right? Why don't you get content that is of motivation or that gives the message that you want to give and share it with them? I'll give you a simple example. In my team, I have a bunch of very young boys who kind of follow sport. So I actually came across like a 30-second sort of a little readout on the Ashes and the management sort of leadership sort of tactics from the Ashes that just happened recently, which I shared with them, which was relevant to them. So the message that I would have wanted to share, I shared it through Ashes at that time, right? I may not be a cricket sort of an expert, but I took that effort to kind of read about it. So you as an architect, just answering to your question, and you're dealing with a bunch of designers, see who do they follow, what do they like. And I'm sure in today's day and age, you can find content that maybe, that will speak to them. And how can you take that and give the message you want in a way that they understand? I think that's an easy approach. And also, I think, obviously, you're in an organization and you need to deliver results. So through that, try to set up certain cadence, certain sort of, objectives for them as well. So you have that sort of one-on-one discussion with each individual as to what you aspire them to be. Everyone wants to aspire to be something or aspire to be someone. So bring that in, saying, listen, like what I think Dimuthu says, I'm echoing that, is your designs are so great and, it's kind of similar to X. She did this and, she did that and she did this. I'm sure, you're going to be the next X. I will not have these names to quote, but I'm sure you can. So my answer in a nutshell is become relevant. Sometimes you just need to put on their shoes, but you need to also be strong and pass the message through.
Thank you so much. And one thing Prophet and Mom has taught me, is to look at the person for who they're becoming. Because as a person in the workplace, you'll know. I mean, you can sense who they are, how good they are, or whatever. So you'll be able to speak the best into them.
Thank you so much.
Pastor Shiran, we also have another question from the audience, and this question is from Mr. Neil Handapangoda.
Thank you, Pastor Shiran and Dimuthu, for what you have shared with us today. My question is, Pastor Shiran, how do you manage your network? Because they say your network is your net worth, right? So if I have to dissect this question into two parts, one is how do you manage your existing network? How do you invest time? How do you meet them? How do you manage that time with your work pressure? And the second part to my question is how do you expand your network to new connections, new business connections? That's my question.
Brilliant. So I will answer part of that question, and I'm going to give Pastor Hisham an opportunity to answer it. I'm going to give Pastor... you know I prophesy. You know that, right? Okay. So, to manage any network, first you have to be a likable person. People have to, when they see you, you should bring a smile onto their face. You should bring a smile onto their face. That is step number one. Because if you put them in an awkward situation, the networking will be limited. So, be a presentable person. Bring joy. Bring a smile to another person. Smell good. Look the best you ever look. 2026, make it a priority to present yourself the best you ever presented in any previous year. Because people who are presentable network better than the ones that are less presentable. Practical tips. I will stop there. Pastor.
So, Neil, practically, if I take my last 20 years, I've built a network based on relationships. Right? Through my career, meeting partners, customers, knowing their family birthdays, kids' birthdays, being there for them. And then I've been a recommendation to them. Right? For example, today, I would have a CEO's friend flying in from India or Singapore. The first person they say is going to meet Ishan. He's the right guy in Sri Lanka. When I go into another country, they would connect me. So it's that relationship you build, spending time, you know. It could be few friends or a person you just want to break into that network. 1st of January, cakes from the company, go and meet them, you know. Build that relationship. You know, they need to know that you're the trusted person. And then it becomes a network effect. And
what he's saying is what is mentioned in that last bit of the verse. Bring me the verse. With that I close the verse. The parable. Then the steward said within himself, what shall I do? For my Lord taketh away from me the stewardship. I cannot dig. To beg, I am ashamed. Wrong stewardship, bad management can take away everything. All right, next one. I am resolved what to do, that when I put out of the stewardship, they may receive me into their houses.
So he called every one of his Lord's debtors unto him, and said unto the first, How much owest thou unto my Lord? And he said, 100 measures of oil. And he said unto him, Take thy bill, and sit down quickly, and write 50. Then said he to another, And how much owest thou? And he said, 100 measures of wheat. And he said unto him, Take thy bill, and write 80. And the Lord commended the unjust steward, because he had done wisely. For the children of this world are in their generation wiser than the children of light. And I say unto you, make to yourselves friends of the mammon of unrighteousness, that when ye fail, they may receive you into everlasting habitations.
So what did he do? He gave them a financial benefit. Now what is he saying? To use your money to win. To buy a cake, what do you do? What is used? What else did you say? When a person comes, you said you go and pick them from the airport.
Pick them from the airport, spend time with them, take them out, be with them.
You have
give them time.
Use your money to win. So, this year, how do you use your money to win? You invest in the right people, number one. Number two, you have to use your money to take care of people. So, yeah, go on.
Chairman, there is a question. The manager was called to give an account of his stewardship. In today's corporate and leadership context, what does true stewardship look like? Is it ownership or responsibility?
Even in the today's context, both works, ownership and the responsibility. In the today's context, the things should have been slightly different, because we invest in a lot of systems and various methods, not to trust people too much, and the system to generate the data to us. So that's the difference in the today's context that we use in terms of managing whoever the manager is. We have put a system in place that the right numbers comes to us.
Thank you. So there is a.
We go for two more questions, then we get into time of giving, and we round things off.
This is, I believe, it's a personal question. If you were the master, if you were in the master's position, what systems and accountability would you have put in place to prevent mismanagement in the first place?
As the master, I will monitor my accountant and make sure and monitor him closely, and don't give him an opportunity to slip.
That's right.
You can't monitor him once a quarter and then expect him not to slip.
That's right.
So, this is this we are talking is from a marketplace perspective, right?
That's right.
Marketplace perspective is we have to monitor now when you say master, you're referring to as the owner or the superior.
That's right.
Right? That's the question, right?
That's the question.
The master is the owner and the other guy is the accountant. So you have to constantly monitor the accountant and make sure he doesn't slip. Monitor him closely.
That's right. There is Brother Dan Anand Samuel from India. So this is, he's asking, he had invested in 2 or 3 businesses in the past, but the results have been failure. Now I have a fear to start business. What should I do?
Pastor Minoli, why don't you take the question?
So personally, I was also going through this at one time because I used to work for a multinational bank, and then I went into business, and I learned a lot through that business. For the longest of times, I thought I was a failure in business, and I was so scared to get into business, and I took a back step and I thought, okay, I think I work brilliantly as an employee. I'm a very operational person. I can work under a good leader and I'll be happy. But no. If you're a child of God, you are called to take over. This is the year of territorial command, and in that you should have the confidence, the boldness to know that you have every gift within you. Yes, your business may have failed in the past, or maybe you invested wrong. So you need to check what went wrong in the past. Learn from that and apply it to the new business that you are trying to invest into or that you're trying to start. If you hadn't done enough research, if you have not, as Pastor Shiran mentioned earlier, if you have not been monitoring it daily, like he said, finish your day in style. So that means you have to know what has come into your business, what has gone out on a daily basis. So for your business to fail, there are things that you have not done. Learn from that and know that God has called you as a child of God. And if you're part of this ministry and if you are a son of the prophet, you know that you have it within you. You can take the secrets that are taught through the Word of God, and you have the Financial Liberty Bible. Remove that fear. Last week, Pastor Shiran taught us on the curse of stagnation. What is it? It's fear. So remove that fear and you will do well.
Last question. Today we answered so many questions. Today, that's why I had to cut short my message. But I'm glad, every episode doesn't have to be like the other one. It can be different. Today is a day I know is for Q&A.
Pastor, we have another question. This is from Gloria from Canada. Good morning, Pastor Shiran. Well, it's morning from their part of the world. Thank you so much for your teachings. In your opinion, where there is stagnation in the businesses of family members, can it be possible that there is spiritual warfare, or is it a management issue?
Good question. Kaushalya, why don't you give your take on it? And then Dimuthu, I want you to contribute to it, and I will close it.
Rebecca, just to clarify, so there's stagnation in a family business by the family members. Is that what you're saying?
In your opinion, where there is stagnation in the businesses of family members, So I believe they have their own businesses.
Right, okay. So considering the fact that she's asking, it's a family business and there's stagnation in the family members. So how I would look at it is, I think Pastor Shiran also mentioned this. Are the family members doing the correct job based on their skill set? And I suppose there is stagnation. It could be for a couple of reasons. One is the requirement and the skill sets does not match. So in a situation like that, provided the person who's asking the question is either the one who's leading it or who is taking a more leadership role, I think you have to be wise in terms of maneuvering these family members around to fit their skills in terms of what their deliverables should be. And I think if it's very sensitive, provided that you have the resources from a financial point of view and you are unable to move this member from this current role, how I would look at it is, could you bring a subordinate under this individual who has that skill set, provided that you have that resources. So at least now you know your business is not going to fail because you have the right skill set there, and because it's a family and you are unable to sort of ruffle the feathers of it, but you still manage the business and you continue to grow. That's how I would look at it.
Yeah. Dimuthu?
I'm on passenger queen mode now, so you can take over.
Yeah. So I think she answered the question. And repeat the last bit of the question again.
Can it be possible that there is spiritual warfare, or is it a mismanagement issue?
So it's a family business.
That's right, Pastor.
And the business?
There's stagnation in the business.
Stagnant?
Yes.
They're stagnant.
Stagnation, yes.
Stagnation, now if you listen to my previous message, stagnation can come from various influences. One can be fear. One can be a lack of commitment. One can be lack of ideas. One can be inability to spot opportunity. And the fifth, warfare. Warfare is, okay, what is that person going through right now? That is important for us to determine if it is warfare or it is one of the five. I gave you four. One more is identification of, identification of the problem. You might not know why you're stagnant, and you might not even have a team together to. So there's so many things. I think take time to understand the root cause and then navigate through it. Because the moment has come for us to get into offering time. Father, in the name of Jesus, take your hand what represents your faith. Actually, I always say this, I always make this mistake. Decide in your heart what you're going to give the Lord. And the word for the now is, may God increase your capacity, sharpen you, and you become the best closer of your days. When I say close of your days, is you finish every day in style like no other year before. You finish every day in style. What do I mean by style? May God give you the wisdom to be of a value addition you have never been in life before. A value addition you have never been in life before. May you be able to add value not only into your work but also into people. May the result of every day be more sharpened, be more profound. Let your days start speaking for your year. Because today a lot of practical wisdom was exchanged. Your lives cannot be the same. You're blessed and you're being promoted. And God is with you. You're winning. And you're winning big. Receive it and know it is for you. In Jesus' precious name I pray. Where are the people? People online. Online audience, thank you for joining today. I know we took a little extra time today. And it's a blessing to have you connecting with us every week. I'm sure you learned, and we are looking forward to connecting with you next week. Unmute a few, bring them online. We finish asking them. Okay, we're having some technical issues.
Good to see you.
All right. We can unmute Ray and Shirley. How was today's teaching? Were you able? I mean, today was a lot of Q&A. Were you blessed?
Yes.
Did you take a lot?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And
it was good. That was a good discussion, especially with Hashan's R&D department and the sales department and how he treats them a little different. That was good. A lot of other good tidbits, especially with the management of employees and versus stakeholders.
Faith, how was the show to you? Were you able to gather nuggets that will help you win in life?
Hi, Pastor. Thank you for the question. I gotta be honest, I came on pretty late because, we had our church service here in Malaysia and I got home pretty late. But, I was so blessed to join it because I managed to get the Q&A section. And it was really, really great to hear the answers and the questions. And I must say that one of the questions that I heard just now was the difference between, what's the difference between mismanagement and then the curse of stagnation. I thought that was really good. And at one point, I was a little confused, but I was glad that it's clear now. It's clear to me. So thank you so much.
Brilliant. Thank you. And finally, Rajesh, how has this session helped you?
Hi, Pastor Shiran. Thank you so much. And the panel, it is really great insight into the day-to-day activities that should happen in the business. Closing each day in style is what I have been forgetting. Planning so far and not closing each day in style. I think these words are etched in my heart. Thank you so much.
God bless you. So, thank you once again for connecting. From here, from the birthplace of champions, with my beautiful wife next to me, Dimuthu Peiris, the sweetest chocolate ever. On to her left, Kaushalya. Then we have the finance guru, Sherman. Sherman, thank you for being with us. Thank you. Pastor Minoli Sally, thank you for being on the show. Pastor Hisham Sally, from all of us here at the studio, thank you. Connect with us next week. God is with you. You're winning big. Every single day you will close unlike any other. God bless you.